you use a trainer for the wrong game version, then it will just freeze the game. So you can see I'm on version 1.51 of Days Gone. So next we want to run the internet browser and load up our exploit host. So I'll use es7in1.site to go to one of the exploit hosts. Now I'll use idosos's host here to jailbreak the PS5. If you don't know how to get that set up and running, I have a full guide that I'll leave down in the video description. But we're going to go ahead and run the jailbreak here. So once you have the exploit loaded, you need to run the PS5 debug payload first of all. Make sure that's the first payload that you run. Now, if your game is a retail game, not a fake package game, then just run the PS5 debug payload and nothing else. However, if you're using a fake package game, like a fake package PS4 game, then you will also then need to run the KStuff payload in order to be able to run your PS4 game, so run that payload next, if it is a fake package game that you are wanting to run the trainer on. And also, note down your IP address that shows up here, listening on 192.168.137.226. We want to get that information there as well. So once you have all that done, we're basically ready to attach the trainer. So we'll go ahead and run the game. Okay, so got the game up and running here, so I'll pause the game and switch over to our computer to grab the trainer. So the trainer we want to get here is the multi-trainer 11.81 or any higher version by Shinigami, which supports the PS5. As you can see here, the latest update has added offsets for PS5. We're just going to go ahead and download this. You can just enter 0 if you don't want to leave a donation. You'll be able to get the download, or you can enter a donation if you want to help support the tool and get the download. So you have that option there. So this will all be linked in the video description, everything that I use here in this video. So from here, we can go ahead and extract the multi-trainer out to our desktop. Now, it may show up as a virus in Windows Defender. I had to add it as an exception. It's just because it's heavily obfuscated. The source code's heavily obfuscated, which causes false positive detections and antiviruses, so you may have to disable your antivirus or just add an exception for the program to get it to work and to stop your antivirus deleting it, which is kind of unfortunate because Windows Defender is obviously what most people use. So anyway, if we go ahead and open up the trainer here and search for the game, so you can see we've got 708 trainers loaded. And if it doesn't load all of the trainers immediately, you should press the button here to update trainer list, and that will grab all of the latest trainers. There it goes, downloading them all. So 708 trainers loaded. You can also reload the trainers if you add any manually and you want to refresh it. You can go ahead and do that too. We also want to head to the settings and make sure you enter the IP address of your PS5 in the PS4 IP box. So 192.168.137.226 was the IP address of my PS5. Also, you've got the folders here that show you where the trainer root is if you want to add your own trainers, which we will be doing later. Keep a note of that there as well. So from here, we can go ahead and search for the game. So Days Gone, we'll just type in Days. So we've got a few trainers here. So that's for 1.80, 1.81. The one we want is for 1.51 because that's the version that I had installed. So select the correct trainer for your game version. So it's going to be this one here. Now I am on a slightly different game version. I'm actually on CUSA 09176, not 175. So it'll probably complain when I attach the trainer about the IDs being mismatched and some issues that can come with that. But generally it should still work because they're pretty much the same on the same game version. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the trainer. And there we go. Project game doesn't match the actual game. I'll just click OK and get it up and running. So there we go. It says trainer attached. You also get a notification on the PS5 itself to say that the trainer's been attached, and then we can enable some cheats. So let's enable bottomless clips so we don't have to reload our weapons. So we'll enable that. Now it's important to leave a few seconds between activating each cheat, because if you click on too many at once, then it'll probably time out. It takes a while to send all that data to the console and for it to, verify it and all that. So once it's checked, we can go ahead and activate the next cheat, which is going to be infinite ammo. And then I'll also activate infinite items so that, we have basically infinite consumables that we can use to enable that one as well. And there we go. Everything is enabled. So if we switch back over to the game, we'll check to see if that has worked. So we'll go ahead and hire a weapon. You can see we don't have to reload the crossbow, and we're not running out of ammo. Can also do the same with our pistol here. Unlimited ammo is enabled, and then also grab our Molotovs. You can see we've got unlimited Molotovs there as well. And in terms of infinite items here, we can craft as many bandages as we want because we have infinite items. So yeah, there we go. That's all working absolutely fine. So yeah, those are PS4 games. There's lots of trainers available there for your PS4 games in this multi-trainer. Now, to switch to a PS5 game, I'm going to go ahead and first of all detach the trainer. You should always detach the trainer while you're still on the game before exiting. So there we go. Now the trainer is detached. We can close out of this. Close out of this here. So for PS5 games, there aren't really many PS5 trainers in here. I don't think there's any right now. There was a trainer for Demon's Souls somewhere, but I'm not seeing it in here right now. So that's a bit of a shame. So I went ahead and created my own PS5 trainer that I'll apply to the game. There's also like some other PS4 games that are missing in this list at the moment, like Assassin's Creed. Mirage is not in here for whatever reason. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how you can apply your own trainers, basically your own trainers, and add them to this multi-trainer so that you can have more PS4 games, as well as adding any new PS5 game trainers that come out in the future. So in order to do this, we're going to close out of the application right now. And I've got my Rift Apart trainer that I made for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, a native PS5 game. It supports the base version and 1.2 of 0.2 of Rift Apart. So to install this trainer, what I need to do is, first of all, open up my Documents folder on my computer. So if we open up the Documents folder, this is where the Reaper Reborn folder gets created from the multi-trainer. So if you go into that folder after you've run the trainer, you'll have the trainers folder, and in here, you've got all your different trainer types that you can add to these folders to get them to show up in the program. So all we need to do is add our PS5 trainer in here. So it's an shn.ext file, which is a shnext trainer. We'll copy it into this folder here. We'll pop those in there, and we can also add our cover image into the covers so that we can get the icon showing up properly as well. And that's been added. And if you want to add more PS4 games, and more PS4 game cheats, then you can actually just download the whole Gold Hen cheats repository, which has the most cheats for all of your different PS4 games. You can just go ahead and download it here as a zip file from this GitHub repo and download all of the Gold Hen cheats for the PS4. And then from here, if we open up the Gold Hen cheats repository, we've got our JSON cheats, MC4, and SHN. If I go into the JSON folder, you can highlight all of these and then go back to our trainers folder for the multi-trainer and go into the JSON trainers folder and basically just copy all of these JSON trainers for Gold Hen into the trainer folder. We can get all of those added, and then we can also do the same for the MC4 cheats. We'll just drag those all into the MC4 trainers folder. Okay, and then finally, I'll also do the SHN trainers and copy those into the SHN trainers folder. And there we go. So that's all of the cheats from Gold Hen have now been added to the multi-trainer. Now, they will not show up correctly in the multi-trainer because they're not named correctly for the multi-trainer to be able to identify them properly. So what you can do is I've also created another program, which I will leave in the video description. So I've created a program here called goldhen2trainer.exe. If you copy the exe and the DLL file into the trainers folder in Reaper Reborn, and then just highlight your JSON trainers, your MC4 trainers, and your SHN trainers and drag them on top of the program. Then just say yes to delete incompatible files. And then there we go, done. That will basically rename all of them so that they should show up correctly in the trainer. And there we go, that is all done. SHN trainers all renamed, so we are good to go. So now if we go back into the multi-trainer, run it again, and you can see how many trainers it's loading now, from 708 to almost 3,000. Obviously, a lot of these will be duplicates, but not all of them will be duplicates. You can see we have our Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart trainer added in here. And if I search for Assassin's Creed, we should find Assassin's Creed Mirage is now available. So there is Assassin's Creed Mirage. So we do have a bunch of extra trainers added in here that we didn't have before. Alright, so let's go ahead and try a PS5 game now. So Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, I'm on version 1.002, so I'll load up this trainer here, and then switch back over to our PS5, and run the game. So we'll close out of Days Gone, and we'll load up Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Okay, so here we are loaded up into our native PS5 game. So once again, we'll pause it and switch back over to our computer to enable the trainer. So we'll attach trainer. So I just added a few opt-ins into this trainer as a little example. So we've got infinite ammo, one-hit kill, and infinite health. Freeze currency of vendors, which basically means anything you buy at a vendor will not take any of your money away. And then also we've got bolts plus raritania multiplier, which will multiply any currency you earn in the game by the multiplier value. So for instance here, we'll go ahead and enable infinite health first of all. So infinite health plus one hit kill. So infinite health plus one hit kill is a toggle. We can also enable infinite health from here. Get that enabled, and then also one hit kill. So that way you can have infinite health plus one hit kill, or just one hit kill, or just infinite health. And then also we're going to go ahead and enable infinite ammo. And then finally we'll also add the multiplier, and we'll do like 10,000 or 100,000. No, we'll do 10,000. 10,000 bolts. So every bolt we get will be equal to 10,000 bolts instead. We'll go ahead and enable the multiplier. And there we go. That should be all good. So let's give this a try. Switch back into the game. Resume. So we should be good right here. Let's try and take some hits. See what happens. Okay, there we go. We took a hit, but the health bar didn't even appear because we didn't take any damage. We're still on max health right here. 30 out of 30, still 30 out of 30. As you can see, we're not losing any health. Now, in terms of one hit kill, it's kind of two hit kills right now because you have to knock their armor off. But once new stuff spawns in, it should be one hit kill. So this ship shouldn't normally take one shot, but I can kill it in one hit right there. That's also working. So we got one hit kill. You can also see how many bolts I'm getting. Hundreds of thousands of bolts here thanks to the bolt multiplier. So it's going absolutely crazy. Down there in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see how many bolts we've got. And we can kill all of these enemies in one hit. They all go down in one shot. All of that stuff is working. We got our bolt multiplier, our unlimited ammo. As you can see, I can like hold down, not losing any ammo whatsoever. Still 154 out of 154. Yeah, anyway, that's a native PS5 game that we have a trainer for. There are other trainers. There is one for Demon Souls out there. If I find it, I'll leave it in the description. And I'm sure there will be more PS5 games added as time goes on. It's just a bit slow right now because it's only just available for PS5, and a lot of the cheat developers are still on PS4. There's not that many of them on PS5 right now, so there's not as many PS5 game trainers available, but there will be more added as time goes on. So you've got all these PS4 cheats that you can use for all of your PS4 games on the PS5 right now as well. There's hundreds of cheats for, all these different PS4 games that you can use from the jailbroken PS4 that can now be used on the PS5. By the way, if you want to learn how to make your own cheats yourself, how to create your own trainers like this, then definitely let me know because I can definitely do an updated tutorial on it. I did one like a couple of years ago about it, which is definitely outdated now because of some of the updated tools that we have. And of course, I never went into Code Cave in that video, so I could certainly, go a lot further and do a new tutorial covering that and showing you guys how to make your own trainers for the PS4 and the PS5, since it's the same tools that you use to develop the cheats on both PS4 and PS5. So definitely let me know if you would be interested in that. And also just to show you guys that the cheats from Gold Hen do in fact work when added. As you can see here, Assassin's Creed Mirage that we didn't originally have cheats for was added with the Gold Hen cheats, and the trainer is working. I can attach it and enable things like one-hit kill and infinite health. And when I go into the game, you can see that it is actually working. I can kill the enemies in one hit, and I'm not taking any damage. So that all works as well. So you've got hundreds and hundreds of cheats for your PS4 games. There's only a couple of cheats available for PS5 games right now, but that will improve as time goes on. There's just not that many cheat developers on the PS5 yet, and it's still early days, but we will get more trainers available for PS5 games in the future. And I think there is a Demon Souls trainer somewhere, so if I find it, I'll also include it.